Julia, sometimes you feel this is just not a grown-up country anymore. Just a country somehow run by kids and worse. Uh, Tony Abbott is the former Prime Minister of Australia. He's a very distinguished public servant in Australia. And by the way, a great admirer and lover of Britain. And God knows this country needs friends and supporters at this time in our history. Tony Abbott agrees to be put forward for a role that he's very suited for to help this country in the trade, the real adult discussions we need to have of trade and how we're going to get jobs and much more flowing in this country. And what does the British media do? What does Sky do? What do the BBC do? They play the game of hunt the homophobe. You know, let's find the person who wasn't on board with gay marriage 20 years ago when, Julia, you and I know no one was on board
including
with gay marriage.
Many gay rights activist groups.
Stonewall never advocated for gay marriage, the biggest gay group in the UK. But, you know, it's not just that. Then they say, oh, he once said something about women that doesn't quite fit the bill. And he's questioned climate change, which, you know, whereas he should have, like all the decent celebrities like Stephen Fry, advocated a tax on buildings and a tax on think tanks yesterday in the name of Extinction Rebellion. He should have been like that, shouldn't he? That's what all decent people do. All decent people support Extinction Rebellion, whose founder was yesterday found to have suggested that MPs should have a bullet put in their head. You know, that's the normal thing you do these days. You don't question things. You don't just be a normal person. You've got to be signed up to this whole smorgasbord of extremism. And because Tony Abbott hasn't signed up to all of that, they've come for him with every trick they've got.
Well, this is it. It seems to me he's, for want of a better description, he's a 62-year-old Australian man, and he has the views that one might expect. It's also interesting because a lot of his views on, for instance, like gay marriage. I mean, bearing in mind when they did have that vote in Australia a few years back, 38% of people voted against it. Now, I'm in favour of equal marriage for gay people. I know a lot of gay friends of mine were not in favour of that. And as you say at the time, that was quite a sort of a revolutionary idea. It wasn't something that was widely supported. Yeah. There's been a big change in views on that. But his views on this are based on the fact he is a devout Catholic. He considered the priesthood at one point. And a number of his views, his conservative, the small c views, are based on his Catholicism. Yeah. I wonder whether his views on that would be acceptable to the woke left if he was a Muslim, because it seems to me the Quran, not that big on gay rights last time I looked.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a big pink document. And, you know, the thing is that Tony Abbott, as you say, is a Catholic. And that is one of the unforgivable things these days, to be a practicing Christian, because you've got to jump through these hurdles. And by the way, there's a very interesting thing here, isn't there? It's what I call boot on the other footism. When gay rights was advancing, it quite rightly demanded acceptance. And now gay rights is totally accepted. It's proving to be woefully unaccepting of anything else. And this is a very, very ugly and bad sign. And I can say this myself, perhaps because I'm gay, but I'm bored of this. I'm bored of these people. I'm bored of these people who think that British trade policy should primarily be dictated by your views on...
We will make America great again.